Good morning to students. Myself, Chef Vikas Sharma from School of Hospitality and Tourism, Galgotia University. I welcome you in this virtual lecture of Introduction to Cookery and Origin of Modern Cookery. Our today's topic is personal hygiene. Students, personal hygiene is a very important aspect, especially when you are working in kitchen and while handling the food. So after reading this topic, you will be able to understand a couple of things, such as to understand the basic principles and significance of personal hygiene in professional kitchen, and to understand the importance of sanitation. So personal hygiene. The personal hygiene is a primary concern while working in the kitchen, because a kitchen personnel is coming right in contact with the food. He is handling the food items, so the chances of the cross contamination increases. Therefore, the personal hygiene becomes an important aspect for especially those people who are doing the food handling. For any successful food operation, hygiene and the food safety is the most important concern. Now, first of all, we must understand that what is the meaning of personal hygiene. The personal hygiene refers to maintaining one's own cleanliness. It includes various activities such as washing or bathing, dressing, grooming, etc. Cleanliness protects against the spread of diseases from external parasites or from contact with the contaminated body. Maintaining personal hygiene reduces the chances of spreading the diseases or cross-contamination. Food safety and sanitation. The food safety and sanitation is defined as measure and condition necessary to control hazard. Hazard is actually a danger, and it to ensure that the food is fit for the human consumption. The personal hygiene, food safety and sanitation are interlinked with each other. So one can, by maintaining the personal hygiene, one can cover all these points and make the food fit for the human consumption. You can make the food safe and sanitized if you are having a good personal hygiene first of all. So through this video which we have in this slide, I would like you to show that how the food handlers handle the food, what are the do's and don'ts which you need to keep in mind when you are handling the food. So let us see the video and make our points much more clear. So you can see in this video, chefs are working. See, the chef is guiding that how you need to dump your food. An employee may wear plain wedding band without stone and limited to one only. So if you have a band, wedding band in your fingers, they should not be stone. If you are fond of wearing watches or any bracelet, you must remove it when you are working in the kitchen, because it may contaminate the food. If you are wearing any earbud, that is also need to be removed, especially if it is carrying any stone. Your nails should be trimmed, and you need to clean your nails on the regular basis. You must wear the net which will cover your hairs, because it will reduce the chance of falling your hair in the food item. And then you will wear a clean chef cap. This is the perfect way a chef should look like. Now, do not clean your hand with your aprons. That is the most dangerous thing actually, because the chances of food contamination increases. Spoon or any knife should not be placed in any of the pocket. It is self-danger also. All your personal belongings, you should keep it in the locker. No cosmetic, medicines and magazines and newspaper allowed in food production area. So when you have a dish in your hand, do not yawn over the dish. Personal habits, kitchen and service area. No smoking or any tobacco product in the food handling areas. No eating, drinking or chewing gum in the food production line. No spitting. No nail biting and licking of fingers. No picking and scratching of nose. No coughing and sneezing in front of food. And no touching or combing of hair in the kitchen. Use secondary spoon. If you are tasting the food, if you are tasting different types of food, you must have separate spoon. You should not put a single spoon in each and every food item. Again, a chance of cross-contamination. Do not wear the apron when you used to go to toilet. Just remove your apron when you go to eat. Now, there are various reasons to follow the rule set for personal hygiene, food safety and sanitation, such as all food service operators are responsible for knowing the health department regulations in their own city and state. HACCP is a very important point in this. The full form of HACCP is Hazard Analysis Critical Control Point. So everywhere a set of rules and regulations has been already assigned, which you have to follow when you are doing the food handling. And HACCP allows you to follow those guidelines and make the food comfortable and fit for the consumption of human beings. Preventing foodborne illness is one of the most important challenges facing every food service industries. In order to prevent the illness, a food worker must understand the source of foodborne illness. So it is very important to know that from which source the foodborne illness is actually occurring, so that we can remove that source. Most foodborne illness is the result of eating food that has been contaminated. It means a food contains harmful substances that were not present originally in the food, or in other words, contaminated food is that which is not pure. The most foodborne illness may also occur or spread by food handlers also. So not only the microorganisms responsible for the food contamination, but the human touch can also cause the foodborne contamination or illness. Some examples of the situations in which the cross-contamination can occur include the following: mixing contaminated leftover with the freshly cooked food batch of the food. So you have a previous day food which gets contaminated and you have mixed that previous day food with the current food to increase the quantity, and in this way the food contamination may occur. Handling ready to eat food with unclean hands. So you have to wash your hands very nicely. Your hands should be neat and clean. Handling several types of food without washing hand in between. This is the main reason for the food contamination. Guys, when we are working up in the kitchen, we have different types of food which we are handling. Sometimes we are handling the non-veg items, sometimes we are handling the vegetarian items. So every time when you are handling food, you need to wash your hand so that there should not be a cross contamination from one food item to the another food item. Cutting raw chicken and then using the same cutting board, unsanitary to cut vegetables. So when you are cutting anything, not only I would say chicken, but anything you are cutting, there should be proper and different chopping boards used for those cuttings. Suppose you are cutting chicken, then you should have a separate chopping board for cutting the chicken. For cutting the fish, there should be separate chopping boards. For cutting the vegetables, there should be separate chopping boards. This will reduce the chances of cross-contamination in the food. Placing ready-to-eat food on a lower refrigeration shelf and allowing juices from raw fish and meat to drip onto them from upper shelf. So suppose you have a fridge. In that fridge you have put it up at one level, you have put it up the non-vegetarian items, and the drippings are falling down, and below you have a vegetarian food or any food which you have kept. So your drippings from the non-veg will fall down to the vegetarian item. Again, a source of cross-contamination. This need to be avoided. You are putting any food in the refrigerator, you must cover that food with the help of clean wrap or silver foil. Wiping down the work surface with the soiled cloth. So the cloth you are carrying up with you for cleaning the area where you are working, that cloth also need to be clean, because a soiled cloth is carrying a lot of germs in it, which again can be the reason for the cross contamination of microorganisms in the food. Techniques for food good personal hygiene. There are various ways by which you can maintain the personal hygienes. Following are the good personal hygiene techniques need to be followed by the food handler. Number 1, do not work with the food if you have any communicable disease or infection. So if you are having any illness or if you are having any sort of disease, you must not come in contact with the food, because that increases the chance of cross contamination. Number 2, bath or shower daily. Number 3, wear clean uniform. Number 4, keep hair neat and clean always, and always wear the hair or hair net when you are inside the kitchen. Number 4, the beard trimmed and clean shaved. Next, wash hands, and when you wash hands, after eating, drinking or smoking, after using toilets, and often touching or handling anything that may be contaminated with the bacteria. So these are certain guidelines, certain techniques by which you can maintain the good personal hygiene, and you can reduce the chances of food getting affected from microorganisms or by the human being also. Next is cover cough and sneezes, then wash hands. So when you are sneezing, when you are coughing, you must wash your hands. Keep your hands away from your face, eyes, hair and arms. You must not touch your face again and again repeatedly. You must not touch your eyes repeatedly. Keep fingernails clean and short. Do not wear any nail polish. Do not smoke or chewing gums while on duty. Do not sit on the working tables, and does not use strong perfume or a mid deodorant can be used. So these are certain things which you have to follow if you have to maintain a good personal hygiene when you are handling the food items, especially while working up in the kitchen. Procedure for washing hands. Washing hand is a very important thing which one has to do time to time, especially when you are in the contact of food. So let us see what is the right procedure for washing the hands. Wash hands in or with hot running water. So your water should be warm enough when you are washing your hands. Use water as hot as you are comfortable. Hot at least 100 degree Fahrenheit or 38 degree Celsius is best suited for washing the hands. Apply enough soap to make a good lather. Rub hands thoroughly for at least 20 seconds or longer. Washing not only the hands but the wash and the lower part of the forearm also. Using a nail brush cleans, be neat the fingernails and the fingers. Rinse hand well under water of hot running water. If possible, use a clean paper towel to turn the water to avoid contaminating the hands by contact with the soiled towels. And dry hands with clean single-use paper towels or warm air hand dryer. These are certain ways of washing your hands. Now I will be playing a video which will make you understand it more suitably, that how one should wash the hand when you are handling the food products. So let us see the video. Now, hand washing with soap and water in 12 steps. Step number 1, that wet your hands. Step number 2 is apply soap. Step number 3 is rub hands palm to palm. Step number 4 is rub back of the hands. Step number 5 is rub your palms with interrelated fingers. Step number 6 is rub back of the fingers, fingers interlocked. So you can see the way. Step number 7, rub each thumb. Step number 8, rub tips of the finger in a circular motion. Step 8 is rub your wrist. Step number 10, rinse the hand nicely under the water. Step 11, turn off the tap. It can be done with the help of elbow, or you can also use any paper towel to turn off the tap. And final step is dry your hand with the disposable towels. So these are various ways by which you can effectively wash your hands, and you can remove the chances of any food contamination. Using gloves is also one of the practice by which you can reduce the chances of contamination in the food, which will automatically leads to the food safety, and your food will not get affected by the microorganisms or any of the source which will make the food unfit for the consumption. Now let us see the uses of gloves. Wear gloves the right way. It is very important to understand that what is the correct way of wearing the gloves. Number 1, wear the food service gloves or use sanitary utensils or gel tissues when handling the ready to eat foods. Always wash your hands before putting on gloves. Change your gloves anytime you would need to wash your hands. Under this category, there are various points which you need to consider, such as after touching your body, after using the toilet, after eating or drinking, after handling dirty equipments and utensils, after handling raw food, after any other activities that contaminate your gloves. It is very important to change the gloves time to time. Remove your gloves before washing the hands. So these are various ways of using the gloves when you are handling the food product. So biological hazard is the first food hazard which need to be understood. Biological agents are the majority responsible for causing foodborne illness. Foodborne illnesses, those diseases which occur due to the consumption of contaminated or unfit food. Bacteria, virus, parasites are the agents which are responsible for causing the foodborne illness. These hazards can come from raw food products, steps of food processing, etc. So there are many, I would say, there are many reasons by which this food hazard can take place. Now, what is pathogens? Because this is a term which we are going to use many a times in the further part of this unit. Pathogens are disease-carrying microorganisms. Now, what are these pathogens include? As you can see in this picture, bacteria, yeast, protozoa, molds and viruses. These are main microorganisms which are responsible for this biological hazards. Bacteria. It is the most commonly found microorganism in the food product. There are certain good bacteria and certain bad bacteria which can harm the human body, or it can cause the diseases also. So let us understand that what are the conditions which are required to grow these bacteria. Food. Sufficient amount of protein is best suited for bacteria to grow. Moisture. It required water to absorb the food. Dry food do not support the bacterial growth. Food with relatively high salt or sugar can also be considered as a safe food. Temperature. Bacteria grows at warm temperature, that is 5 degrees Celsius to 60 degrees Celsius. It is considered to be the best growth suited temperature to promote the diseases causing bacteria. Oxygen. Some bacteria need oxygen to grow. Acidity or alkalinity. In general, disease producing bacteria like the acidity or alkalinity. The alkalinity of a substance is indicated by the measurement called as pH. The scale ranges from 0 to 14. 0 is considered as strongly acidic, whereas 14 is considered as strongly alkaline. A pH of 7 is considered as neutral. A pure water has pH of 7. Time. When bacteria are introduced to a new environment, it needs time to their surroundings before they start growing. This time is called as lag phase. Next is virus. The viruses are even smaller to the bacteria. Unlike bacteria, they cannot reproduce or multiply unless they are inside a living cell. But they can be carried on almost any surface and can survive for days or even for the months. So this makes the viruses much more dangerous. Because viruses do not multiply in food like bacteria, foodborne viral diseases are usually caused by contamination from people, food contact surface, or in the case of seafoods, contaminated water. Next is parasite. Parasites are the organisms that can survive only by living on or inside another program. Human parasites are generally transmitted to them from the animal host. They are very small and microscopic. They can be killed by proper cooking or by freezing. Fungi. Mold and yeast are the examples of fungi. These are associated with food spoilage rather than foodborne diseases. Most molds and yeast, even those that cause spoilage, are not dangerous to the most human beings. Some of the fungi are useful also, as we can take the examples of bread making as well as cheese making. In both the cases, these fungi is turned out to be useful for the production of these products. Second type of food hazard is chemical hazard. The word chemical hazards are identified by the presence of harmful substances that can be found in food naturally or unintentionally, which are added during the processing of food. Some chemicals hazard includes naturally occurring chemicals such as mycotoxins. These are naturally occurring toxins produced by certain fungi found in variety of crops and foodstuffs. Intentionally added chemicals including preservative like sodium nitrate, etc. and unintentionally added chemicals like pesticides. Now, examples of chemical hazard we have already covered. These are mycotoxins produced by fungi, natural toxins which are biochemical compounds produced by plants, food additives which are any chemical substance that is added in the food during the food preparation or storage, and pesticides which are used to control or destroy the pest when you are doing the farming. Physical hazard is the third type of hazard under the category of food hazards. The physical hazards are foreign objects that are found in food products. So they are very, I would say, maximum chances of this type of hazard. They are either naturally found in the specific item, such as stems in fruit, or not normally part of the food item, such as hair or plastic. Another type of food physical hazard is unnatural. This type of physical hazard are generally more dangerous to the health, whereas natural physical hazards can be harmless. Example: insects, metal fragments, wood chips, etc. Now it's a time for sample questions. After reading this topic of personal hygiene, there will be certain questions which we have to solve for getting us understand that we are thorough with the topic. These important questions may contain such as: number 1, define food contamination. Number 2, define foodborne illness. Number 3, identify standard procedures for washing hands. Number 4, identify different types of food hazards. Number 5, explain different types of food hazards with examples. And number 6 is identify the conditions ideal for the growth of bacteria. So students, by attempting these questions, you will be able to solve your queries and understand this topic in a much perfected manner. Thank you for hearing me. Let's meet in the next video. Thank you.